Hi, this is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to be making a really simple wreath. We're going to be using some Dollar Tree items, and I wanted to try something different and do a wreath with flowers and a few embellishments. So let's get started. As usual, I'll make sure I list all of the supplies you'll need below. This floral foam is what we're going to use as our base, and it's smaller than some of the other wreath forms that I use. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be hot gluing some of these flowers. So I'm going to alternate them. I've got one that's like, I like the texture of this, and it's got a little bit of a lacy kind of embellishment around the inside of it. So I really like that. And then I have this one that's just a little bit more smooth. So I'm going to be alternating these as I put my wreath together. So I hope this inspires you. So I went ahead and cut these stems off of the flowers, or cut the flowers away from the main branch. And so I'm leaving it about this much. If I need to cut it shorter, I can. So all I'm doing is poking holes. And I'm going to alternate these. So I'm going to build a pattern with these. So I'm going to just kind of alternate them to get a nice mix. And so what I'm going to do is put a little bit of hot glue. Maybe I'll just see how it works if I put a little bit of hot glue in the hole here. And then stick this inside to secure it. And I like the way it's a little bit raised up off the top, so it's not really really flat in there, because I want this wreath to have dimension. So I want to make sure they're not too close, because I do want them to kind of stand out individually, but I don't really want them to overlap too much. But I also need that green to be covered up. Just going to kind of keep going around and push those in, and you could always adjust it and turn it depending on how you want that. Just keep working our way around. I'm not paying attention here. I want to make sure that I alternate with that. Okay. And this gets filled up pretty quick. You can make several of these, and they won't take a whole lot of time to make. And it's starting to look pretty full there. I'm going to kind of put it a little bit closer to the outside, because I have something I want to put in here, and I'm hoping that it works. So we'll see. And so that's what we have so far. Okay, and so this is what we have so far. See if you can see that. And now I have to do the outside part. And in order to do that, just make sure these are nice and secure in there. I'm just going to do the same type of technique, and then I could always see where I need to fill in. once I'm done, I could always use more and just fill it in more. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this off and come back and let you see what it looks like. Okay, so here's what I've got so far, and look how pretty that looks. And it's pretty full. I went ahead and went around the sides too, and those poinsettias look so pretty. And so what you could do, if you see some of the green sticking through, which you really can't, and I think it helps that you have some of this green already on the plant. I think that helps to kind of camouflage it and kind of blend in. But look how pretty that looks. Okay, so I'm not finished yet because I had something in mind. I got these bells from Dollar Tree, and it's a 9 count. They are much bigger than what I normally would use, and I thought about maybe the red bells also, but I said, you know what, I'm going to keep it more of a silver. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue these bells right into this, right into the center here, so it looks like it's supposed to be there. And in order to do that, I think it has a little bit of these green things in there. I'm just going to clip off maybe 1 or 2, and that way my bell will just sit right in there. Okay, so let's see if this works. I had this idea in mind, so I'm just using the back part of the bell. Add some glue to that, and then I'm going to take it and place it right in the center of this. Let's see if that'll work. And yep, it sure does. So I'm not going to do it on every one of them, but I'm going to do it on these. I'm going to skip. Just want to make sure that looks okay. So I'm just cutting out that center one. That way the bell has somewhere to rest. And I think it's quite a bargain, $1 for these. And these are so pretty. I've been walking around with this idea in my head, and I was just hoping that it will work out, and it looks like it is. Put one here and then one there too. I think that will work. And they have these bells in red and gold. Sure I have enough hot glue on there. And look at that. That looks so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over because I'm going to need to attach something to hang it up with. Of course, you need that, and I guess you can use the wreath hanger. But I'm going to just put a little. Let's see. I want this to be the top part right here. So I'm going to just put something right across here. And how I usually do this is I usually put my push pins in there with some slender ribbon to make a hanger. I'm going to use this ribbon that's it's kind of fancy, but I think it'll still work for this. And I just need something that's going to help it to dangle. And I don't want it to be too long, so I'm just going to kind of put it right there. Let's just make sure I have it where I want it. Right where that is. What I'm going to do is take my push pin and I'll probably use several of these. Just putting a glob of glue on it. And put it on there. Do one more. Just put a small amount. I think I kind of went overboard just now. Put too much on there. I've got tons of these push pins from a wedding that I was helping with. So I have a bunch of these in my stash. So these are coming in handy. Okay, so I'm not really worried about the way the back looks. And this will still hang, so you have your little hanger on there. Look how pretty that is. And now, to finish it off, and you could keep adding stuff to this. I mean, this can get really, really fancy. Look what I have. I've got this real pretty embellishment, and it's got a red bird on it. And it's got some pine cones on it, some mini pine cones. And so you could either cut away pieces of this and add it to your wreath, or I could take it and maybe put it right here on the top. But I was thinking maybe the center. For some reason I'm thinking the center. And on the back of this, it has like a little clip, so you can like clip it on. But I'm going to need to do more than that to secure this. I just love that little red bird on there. Look how pretty that is. Sitting right in the center there. Just that one little bit of red. So I'm going to probably have to hot glue this on to secure it. Let me just see what I'm going to do here. Yep, I'm going to secure it with some hot glue. So I'm going to put some along the bottom and around the sides there, because I actually want it to just fit. Me remembering that that's my top part there, because you really don't want to put this in upside down. I'm just going to nestle it right in there for a moment. Don't want my bird to be too far back there. I'm just going to secure little parts of it onto the wreath there. Just put some right here. My pine cone. Oh, I'm so happy with the way this turned out. And look at that. Just want to make sure I nestle and secure that. Letting that glue dry. And look how pretty that is. Who'd have known that the green floral foam is underneath here. And so you can still go, if you want, you could add more bells right around the sides. You can use some of these embellishments. They've still got more embellishments on here where I cut the flowers away. So if you want, you can put more stuff from here and there. But I think I'm going to stop here because I like the way it looks. Here's another one you could use if you wanted to add more sparkle, and that goes along with the bells, the silver and the bells. So you get real fancy with this, but this was just a little something to inspire you. I hope you liked this tutorial. So go ahead and get to crafting. Hope you will subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget to like and comment below. I'm loving that little birdie on here. Thanks for joining me. Bye.